What is going on, guys? For today's video, I will show you the best Poison Concoction Pathfinder build in Path of Exile 3.26. This setup offers excellent all-round performance by thriving from league start all the way to the endgame. It's highly efficient at clearing maps and handle boss as well. With fast movement and solid built-in defenses, it shines in tight layouts and confined mechanics like the Delve, Haste, Blight and the Ritual. While there are many ways to approach a Poisonous Concoction build, not all versions will deliver the same experience. I wanted something that feels great to play, fast, smooth and strong without sacrificing the durability needed for the endgame content. It also has to be practical to work for every new league, without relying on rare or super expensive gear. If that sounds interesting, then check the Path of Building link in the description to get started. And before we continue, thanks to U4GM. They are a pro website that provides PoE boosting, items and even currency with a cheap price and fast delivery. They have over 17,000 positive comments, and this website is really worth a try. So make sure to use my discount code CADE for extra 6% off. So, the Poisonous Concoction is a projectile build, meaning you will frequently stop to throw the flask. Like other projectile setups, this will create a rhythm, so stutter step style. As we are alternating between the movement and attacks, it's smoother than it sounds and quickly becomes fun. This build makes it even more fluid with a high movement and attack speed. Since Poison Concoction will require a shield, we will gain access to strong defensive layer. This build consistently hits the damage over time cap each league, and as you can see in the gameplay, that's more than enough for the endgame bosses. Ubers will require some extra focus, but are absolutely doable. What really makes the build stand out is how simple and low maintenance it is. 2 or 3 active buttons at most, so right click to throw potions, a key for the Plague Barrier and optional triggers like the Val Grace, Val Molten Shell or the Val Haste. Pathfinder will sacrifice a bit of damage to gain near permanent flask uptime. However, Trickster gets similar benefits while mapping, but may experience flask downtime during the prolonged boss fights, so either options can work. Now let's break down how to set this up. Start by following leveling trees up to level 71, assuming that you picked up all the extra passive points during the story. After that, progress to the tree, item set and the skill set together. Each stage, so level 71, 84, 91 and etc. has coordinated versions for everything, so be sure to match them in the drop downs to make the build aligned and effective. Kill all the bandits and choose whichever major or the minor good fits your preference. I usually opt for chaos damage mitigation and the full immunity specking. Leveling gear is flexible, so prioritize resistances and getting a good link armor early. You can transition to the Poison Concoction at level 12 if you get a gem, otherwise start with a cautious arrow and a bow setup. Quill Rail plus the Rain of Arrows is another effective early combo. I've included a high-end Cobalt Javel for reference. It's not mandatory, but will showcase what's possible. If you're tight on mana reservation, then skipping the Javel can save 2 points. The final setup's mana balance is specific and may shift depending on the league mechanics, or balance changes, so adjust them accordingly. The build in its final form is a great place to stop spending and start farming. It's fast, decently tanky and more than capable of handling red maps and mostly content. Next up we have Ascendancy, and start with the Nature's Adrenaline. You immediately benefit from the faster movement and attack speed. Follow that up with the Nature's Reprisal to scale your chaos and AoV damage. Then take the Master's Success Test to ramp up your poison effectiveness with the Enhanced Proliferation and increased element duration. And then finally finish with the Nature's Boon to achieve permanent flask uptime and a solid defensive boost thanks to the reduced elemental damage taken and increased flask charges gained. This path gives you a blend of speed, damage and sustain. That's perfect for both mapping and bossing. Next up we have our skill tree. These passives are optimized around the Poisonous Concoction ability to amplify unlimited poison stacks, with one caveat discussed later. This makes the stats like increased attack speed, area of effect, and duration incredibly valuable, since the faster and more often you can apply poison, and the longer they last, the more total damage you will deal. Movement speed also plays a major role in the smooth gameplay. We can stack frenzy charges and convert them into affliction charges using our gear, which gives us a huge offensive and defensive benefit. This setup results in sustained damage over time, strong recovery and a build that feels great to play in all content types. The next we have our skill gems. Poisonous Concoction is the heart of this build, which is a chaos-based projectile skill that throws explosive flasks, dealing AoV and applying poison. It's highly effective for both clearing and single target damage when supported correctly. Unbound elements will boost the duration and the damage of the poison, making it a very important part. Greater volley and the greater multiple projectiles will help to increase flask coverage and stack poison across the large packs, though they do lower single target damage slightly. For high value boss encounters, you can swap out the GMP for void manipulation, or even deadly elements to increase single target performance. Vicious projectiles will add strong scaling to both hit and the dot damage, and work perfectly with their chaos focused build. This gem setup is balanced for early mapping and the late endgame, by offering great scaling while maintaining simplicity and the coverage, and as your items and flasks improve, you can push the damage and defenses even further. Then next we have our gear choice. The build is centered around 4 key gear slots: amulet, belt, chest and the boots. The Rakalish Impatience gives us the benefit of having maximum frenzy charges, without actually having to maintain them. The effect is permanent and can be removed or stolen, and unlocks the build's real power. Thanks to this, our belt can convert frenzy charges into affliction charges without losing the frenzy bonuses. It's a massive power spike, essentially doubling your poison output and eliminating concerns around the map mods that would normally interfere with the charges. Replica Badge of the Brotherhood brings a big layer of defense by giving us maximum endurance charges equal to our maximum frenzy charges. This combination with our charge generation makes us extremely hard to kill, especially in dense or dangerous mapping content. The Restless Ward will offer strong bonuses that increase charge generation and extend their duration, helping them to make all the charges functionally permanent, as long as you're actively playing it. It's still necessary to generate frenzy charges to enable this engine. While the passive tree gives us some on-kill generation, the most consistent method is equipping a precursor emblem ring with a mod like a 10% chance to gain a frenzy charge on a hit, and once you have this, the loop is complete. To handle the mana reservation, we use the Devouring Diadem. It eliminates mana problems and allows us to run our aura setup comfortably. There's also a tankier variation of the build that skips the Tandem and uses a life tap instead, but it's trickier to gear. That option also includes if you want to experiment. Just don't forget, your helmet should have the increased duration of the elements you inflict while focused. It's crucial to scaling with your poison duration, so be sure to get it as soon as you can. Then next we have our Mercenaries. Animate Guardian can offer powerful bonuses and utility for this build. A great setup includes using the Leer cast as the helmet to provide an aura that increases nearby allies' damage. Then for the chest, Ambush Charge will offer a strong defenses and life regeneration, which keeps your Guardian alive and healthy through the most encounters. The Southbound Gloves are a good choice due to their life scaling and synergy with the dot-based builds. Then Victorious Flight Boots increase movement speed, making your mercenary a bit of more agile in fights and can help you to stay out of danger. For the weapon, the Kingmaker is ideal, as it grants you Fortify and the Culling Strike to nearby allies, including you, which is an amazing boost in both survivability and the clear speed. If you're planning to invest into your mercenary, then this combo will enhance your build's performance across all the content. Aim for the Temporal Chains Corruption for your mercenary. Pair this with the Windscreen Boots or the Doedria's Danning Ring, so your mercenary can apply the Temporal Chains for you. Next up, let's go over the gameplay. Our playstyle loop is fast, fluid and satisfying. You'll be zooming through the maps with near consistent flask uptime, hurling your poison concoctions to melt packs and bosses alike. With automated flasks and minimal active buttons, the build plays almost on autopilot once you set it up properly. You just throw potions, keep Plague Barrier rolling, and trigger your wall skills when needed. Defensive layers will keep you alive even in the hectic situations, and because you're not relying on minions or complicated rotations, it's easy to focus on positioning and pacing. It excels in content like the Delve, Haste, Blight and Ritual, due to its quick movement and reliable aerial coverage. If you're farming maps or tackling endgame bosses, then the build feels agile and deadly. And now finally, let me show you and explain few tips and important things to note. As soon as you have a Chaos Orb, pick the Emerald Gloves and forlink them. This combo will carry you comfortably to the early game. Use Installing Orbs to roll resistance suffixes on the Bismuth Flask which can solve a lot of early resistant issues. Then, when possible, buy the cheap cluster javel and roll them yourself. As you level, pick up the Dendro bait once you meet the start requirements, so 300 dexterity and 150 intelligence. You don't need to link it right away, but that will be a very crucial upgrade. Keep an eye out for the Leaper's Alms when it's cheap, and aim to pick either way a +1 to Chaos Amulet with the damage over time multiplier, or a Fury Valve. Then later in progression, when you start collecting the Val Orbs, add Assassin's Mitts to your loot filter and begin Valing them. Keep Valing until you hit +1 Frenzy charges, and then eventually upgrade to the Snakebite Gloves via Mythic Orbs for the Rattle Cache setup. You should also add Sentinel Jackets to your filter and Val them for projectile or AoV gem implicits, and then finally convert them to the Dendro Bite with the Mythic Orb when the implicits line up. So let me know what you think about this build in the comments below. If you enjoyed this, then you definitely don't want to miss my previous top 10 best builds video, where I showed even more powerful builds. So click the screen now and I'll see you in the next one.